Set up the mic for him, please. Harekrishna, welcome everybody to Krishna Fest, Sunday Krishna Fest. So tonight, if everyone could just move towards big seat here. So tonight we have a special guest speaker, His Grace Nirantara Prabhu. So Nirantara Prabhu has been a long-time member of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he was initiated by Srila Prabhupada quite some time ago. And he's a very learned, humble, wonderful devotee. So if everybody could just open up their hearts and listen to what he has to say. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, can you hear me? Okay. So I'm dedicating today's class to a friend of mine who I see once a year in Santiago, Chile, Pundavanika Devi Dasi. And by Krishna's arrangement, she's here today, I'm here, and we went like. So when I go to Santiago every year, sometimes she does translations because I don't speak Espanol, and she's very expert. So I will say, and then she'll say in Espanol. We're a good team. Jai. So will you be in for Gorparnim? Will you be there in Santiago? Then I'll be. Well, then you must go. But if not, I'll see you. Okay. So tonight, I'm going to tell a story about Krishna just prior to Govardhan, because this week we are celebrating here in this temple and all over ISKCON Govardhan Puja. So there's one pastime that takes place just before that and ties in. So that's the story for tonight. Where's my drummer? No, not. Please forgive. Where's my new drummer? Where did he go? Huh? Oh, he should be here. He's my drummer. Okay. Prabhu, can you play? Please forgive me. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. So this mantra that we just chanted, Lord Chaitanya chanted this mantra when he was passing through the Jarikanda forest. During that pastime of Lord Chaitanya, he made the elephants, the deers, all the animals were chanting and dancing in ecstasy. And his servant Balabhadra Bhattacharya was completely astounded that Lord Chaitanya was able to make the animals dance and chant. When Lord Chaitanya would chant his Gayatri mantra in a lake, he would splash water on the elephants and they would make a big sound. So Lord Chaitanya, he can make animals chant and dance because he's God. We cannot imitate, but we can make or induce human beings to chant and dance. So everybody please repeat, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this prayer that we sang, Prabhupada wrote it there in his introduction to Krishna book. So whenever I do a Krishna book story, I like to chant that mantra. Simple. It just means calling out to Krishna. Krishna hey. Crying out to Krishna. And then Rakshamam, Pahiman. Protect me. Maintain me. That we all need that. We all need to be maintained and protected by Krishna. As you will learn, what day you're celebrating? Thursday? The actual day? Oh, very nice. It's always good on the actual day. In LA, they're doing it today. But you do it on the actual day. That's, I think, better. So, the whole story of Govardhan, because Indra was trying to destroy Vrindavan and all the residents, the cows, they took shelter of Krishna, asking Krishna, looking at Krishna, please maintain us, please protect us. And the residents of Vrindavan, they don't know any other shelter. They don't have, what is that, that insurance? They don't have that. Their only insurance is Krishna. They're not in good hands with Allstate. They're in good hands with Krishna. That's the nature of the residents of Vrindavan. As soon as there's any difficulty, any fear, immediately they take shelter of Krishna. So let's begin. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is the chapter 23, delivering the wives of the Brahmins who performed sacrifices. The morning passed, and the cowherd boys were very hungry because they had not eaten breakfast. They immediately approached Krishna and Balaram and said, Dear Krishna and Balaram, you are both all-powerful. You can kill many, many demons, and today we are much afflicted with hunger, and this is disturbing us. Please arrange for something that will mitigate our hunger. Requested in this way by their friends, Lord Krishna and Balaram immediately showed compassion on certain wives of Brahmins who were performing sacrifices. These wives were great devotees of the Lord, and Krishna took this opportunity to bless them. My dear friends, please go to the house of the Brahmanas nearby. They are now engaged in performing Vedic sacrifices known as Angiras, for they desire elevation to heavenly planets. So that is called karma kanda. They're performing a Vedic ritualistic ceremony, but their objective is material. We are not like that. We are worshiping Radha and Krishna because we know material benefit will automatically come. So we're not concerned. We are worshiping Radha and Krishna for spiritual benefit. How to develop love of God. That is what the devotee wants. How to develop love of God. Everything else will automatically come to a devotee. I've given the example. I joined this movement for several reasons. One is good food. Look, have I eaten good? So, I know there's nothing to worry about. If you're a devotee, Krishna will supply prasad. Let's continue. All of you, please go to them. These Brahmins are not Vaishnava devotees. They cannot even chant our names, Krishna and Balaram. But you can, everybody. Got to pay attention because I'm going to do spot quizzes. Got to keep up. They are very busy in chanting the Vedic hymns, although the purpose of Vedic knowledge is to find me. That's mentioned. Dravida Das, let's show off Dravida. Where is that verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, the purpose of Vedic knowledge is to find me? Can you please benedict us? As you like. That's the line, see? That's why I like this. He's a walking encyclopedia. You don't need Google. You just need Dravida. They are very busy in chanting Vedic hymns, but because they are not attracted by the names of and you had better not ask them for anything in my name. Better ask for some charity in the name of Balaram. For at least if you utter the name of Balaram, they may prefer to give charity to a Kshatriya rather than to me, because I am only a Vaishya. Being thus ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the boys went to the Brahmins and began to ask for some charity. They approached them with folded hands and fell down on the ground to offer respect. So just like this is the tradition, when we come into the temple, we obey Krishna's instructions twice in Bhagavad Gita. Namaskuru. So this Namaskuru means to give respect, honor, and Prabhupada taught us to bow down, to go down and offer our surrender to Krishna. So these cowherd boys, they're also doing that to the Brahmins. So here's what they said. O earthly gods, kindly hear us who are ordered by Lord Krishna and Balaram. We hope you know them both very well, and we wish you all good fortune. Krishna and Balaram are tending cows nearby, and we have accompanied them. We have come to ask for some food from you. You are all Brahmanas and knowers of religious principles. And if you think that you should give us charity, then give us some food, and we shall all eat along with Krishna and Balaram. This is why I like Krishna. He doesn't just grab everything for himself. All right, go away. No. The cowherd boys, they know if we collect the food, Krishna and Balaram will share. This is why I love Krishna. He's loving, reciprocal God. And he enjoys being with his cowherd boyfriends. You are the most respectable Brahmanas within human society, And you are expected to know all the principles of religious procedure. So you can learn a lot from these cowherd boys in the art of begging. Flattery, flattery, flattery. There, you learn a lot. And another thing about this Krishna book, never fails. As I'm reading this, where is my mind going? It's going to Vrindavan. I'm picturing this in my mind. So this is this book. Keep in mind, this book made me a devotee. It was this book. After reading 6 chapters, I closed the book. That's it. I'm joining Prabhupada's movement. That's how powerful this. How many people do not have Krishna book? You all have Krishna book? Well, if you don't, get it. Because if you read Krishna book, you will become a lover of Krishna. Let's go on. Back to Vrindavan. All the boys were village boys and were not expected to be learned in all the Vedic principles of religious rituals. But they hinted that because of their association with Krishna and Balaram, they knew all these principles. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna and Balaram, asked for food, the boys would immediately deliver it without hesitation, because it is stated in Bhagavad Gita that one should perform yajna, sacrifices, only for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Panditji, what's the line? That's it. Yajna karmanyo nyatra. 3:9. Very good. Lord Vishnu, as Krishna and Balaram, is standing, waiting. And you should immediately deliver whatever food you have in your stock. We can take your food at the present stage of your ceremony. For now, it will not be prohibited. So you can deliver us the food stuff. So these cowherd boys, oh, some of my students have come. Very nice. Jai, may Krishna bless you. Thank you for coming. Very nice. So these cowherd boys, they know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two. And they've seen a thing or two because they've seen Krishna do amazing things. Here, there's been, now this is the 23rd chapter, so these cowherd boys have seen many things. Demons killed and miracles and so many amazing things. So they have first-hand understanding of this Krishna. Although the companions of Lord Krishna and Balaram were simple cowherd boys, they were in a position to dictate even to the high-class brahmanas engaged in Vedic rituals of sacrifice. But the smarta Brahmins, who were simply sacrificial-minded, could not understand the dictation of the transcendental devotees of the Lord. They could not even appreciate the begging of the Supreme Lord. Who were the two? Krishna and? Come on, everybody. You get more out of it if you participate. Trust me. Although they heard all the arguments on behalf of, they did not care, and they refused to even speak to the boys. Despite being highly elevated in the knowledge of Vedic sacrificial rites, all such non-devotee Brahmins, although they think of themselves as very highly elevated, are ignorant, foolish persons. This is Prabhupada's commentary. So sometimes Prabhupada, he's a little heavy sometimes. Although their activities are useless because they do not know the purpose of the Vedas, as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita again. Very good. To understand Krishna. In spite of their advancement in Vedic knowledge and rituals, They do not understand Krishna. Therefore, their knowledge of the Vedas is superficial. Lord Chaitanya therefore gave his valuable opinion that a person does not have to be born in a Brahmin family. If one knows Krishna or the science of Krishna consciousness, he or she is more than a Brahmana, and one is quite fit to become spiritual master. So that was one of Lord Chaitanya's pillars of his philosophy, that your material designation doesn't matter. You may be materially high, you may be materially low. Lord Chaitanya doesn't care. The only thing that matters is, have you learned from a bona fide spiritual master who is Krishna, and do you practice the science of Krishna consciousness? That's the only thing that matters. And in this movement, we follow the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and we put them into practice. We follow strictly the regulative principles, and every day we chant the Maha Mantra. Everybody. When the boys saw that the Brahmins would not even speak to them, they became very disappointed. They then returned to Lord Krishna and Balaram and explained everything that had happened. After hearing their statements, the Supreme Personality began to smile. In other words, for Krishna, no problema. Doesn't matter. Whatever, Krishna smiles. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was freaking out. Krishna was smiling. You'll read, Krishna is fighting some demon. He just nonchalantly, boom, boom, boom. Just like the pastime of Varaha. When Lord Varaha was fighting Hiranyaksha, how did he kill him? Not with his tusk. Just by slapping him like this. Boom. And he killed him. Then he pierced him with his tusk. But to kill him, boom. Nobody can kill anybody. You're going to come up to somebody, I'm going to kill you, boom. No. But if you're Krishna, just a little, boom. That's it. Because Krishna is inconceivable, unlimited, all-powerful. Krishna told the boys that they should not be very sorry for being refused by the Brahmins, because that is the way of begging. Anybody who's gone out on book distribution, you learn this right away. Not everybody takes a book. And not everybody welcomes you with Haribol. No. Some people, they want to beat you. Go away. So when you go out preaching, begging, you can't be attached. You have to be detached. Krishna convinced the boys that while one is engaged in collecting or begging, one should not think that he will be successful everywhere. One may be unsuccessful in some places, but that should not be the cause of disappointment. Lord Krishna then asked all the boys to go again, but this time to the wives of those Brahmins engaged in sacrifice. Krishna also informed the boys that these wives were great devotees. So we're going to see the difference. So they went to the Brahmins. They didn't even answer. Neglect this, like, huh? So that's hard to take. You approach somebody and they don't even respond. Yeah. Krishna said, these wives are always absorbed in thinking of us. Go there and ask for some food in my name. So this time, he's telling them, now you can ask in my name. And in the name of Balaram. And I am sure that they will deliver you as much food as you desire. Carrying out Krishna's orders, the boys immediately went to the wives of the Brahmins. They found the wives sitting inside their house. They were very beautifully decorated with ornaments. And after offering them all respect, so even to the wives, they offered respectful obeisances. Just see. And the boys said, dear mothers, Prabhupada taught us this. Way back in the beginning, Prabhupada taught us, you, other than your wife, all other women is mother. That's how Prabhupada trained us, to see all women other than one's wife as mother. Dear mothers, please accept our humble obeisances and hear our statement. May we inform you that Lord Krishna and are nearby. They have come here with the cows. And you may know also that we have come here under their instructions. All of us are very hungry. How many people are hungry right now? Don't worry, I'm not going to go long. I'm also hungry. See that Krishna book takes care of everything. Please, we have come to you for some food. Please give us something to eat for Krishna, Balaram, and ourselves. Immediately upon hearing this, the wives of the Brahmins became anxious for... These reactions were spontaneous. They did not have to be convinced of the importance of. Immediately upon hearing their names, they became very anxious to see them. Being advanced by thinking of Krishna constantly, they were performing the greatest form of mystic meditation. This is a point Lord Chaitanya also makes. Just like the gopis, Lord Chaitanya said, they are the topmost yogis. They're always meditating on Krishna's flute, on Krishna's pastimes. The gopis are in samadhi. Yes, they're doing their housework and chores, but inwardly, all they're thinking about is Krishna. When will Krishna call us again? When will we be with Krishna? That is mystic, real mystic meditation. Always to be observed. So these wives of the Brahmins, they were mystic yogis because they also constantly thinking of Krishna. All the wives then became very busily engaged in filling up different pots with nice foodstuff. Due to the performance of sacrifice, the various food was all very palatable. After collecting a feast, they prepared to go to Krishna, their most lovable object, exactly in the waves, the way rivers flow to the sea. Kunti had a similar prayer. Let my attraction to you be just like the Ganges, how it flows. How many people have seen the Ganges flowing? Anybody been to Gangotri? When it's coming out of Gangotri, it's very powerful, and it makes its way down. So that's Kunti's prayer. Let my devotion be just like that, flowing constantly to Krishna. So here, they're performing a sacrifice and nice foodstuffs. So on Thursday, you will hear the narration when Krishna instructs the residents of Vrindavan, this is how we should worship Govardhan Hill. And Krishna gives the list. Rasgula, samosa, pakora, puri, halava, sabji, rice, but no tacos, I'm sorry. Krishna gives an exact list what he wants offered. And just here, whenever I read that section, I go, boy, I'm hungry. Let's continue. For a long time, the wives had been anxious to see Krishna. However, when they were preparing to leave home to go see Krishna, their husbands, fathers, sons, and relatives asked them not to go. Very similar, the night of the Rasa dance, when Krishna played his flute. The husbands, the brother, they tried to stop some of the gopis. And those who could not enter the Rasa dance because of being checked, they gave up their lives. And then they went in their spiritual bodies. Because in spiritual life, there can be no impediment, no check. My favorite story. Long, long time ago, early 70s, the devotees went to Australia. And Prabhupada told them, chant on the street. So they would go for hours, hours chanting. So they put the devotees in jail. So Madhuvis, the leader, he wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you told us to chant. We're in jail. What do we do now? So what did Prabhupada write back? What are you crying about? Chant in the jail. So they started to do kirtan in the jail, and they said, get out of here. This is no joke. This is real. This is fact. History. Chanting is so powerful. The wives did not comply with their husbands and fathers, because when a devotee is called by the attraction of Krishna, he or she does not care for bodily ties. The women entered the forest of Vrindavan on the bank of what river? Yamuna, which was verdant with vegetation and newly grown vines and flowers. Within that forest, they saw Krishna and Balaram engaged in tending the cows along with their very affectionate boyfriends. The Brahmanas saw Krishna putting on, the Brahmins' wives actually, the Brahmins' wives saw Krishna putting on a garment glittering like gold. Krishna wore a nice garland of forest flowers. And what kind of feather? Peacock. Krishna was also painted with the minerals found in Vrindavan. And Krishna looked exactly like a dancing actor on the theatrical stage. The wives saw Krishna keeping one hand on the shoulder of his friend, and in his other hand was holding a lotus flower. So this is meditation. You know, I've been speaking this one thing recently a lot. I was raised as a Catholic, and I was taught early age the Bible. So one of the first things they taught me, man is made out of the image and likeness of God. But they don't go into any detail. They just have that. But when you read Krishna, now you get a clear description. Oh, let's look at the altar. How Krishna is decorated, how Krishna looks. Now we have complete understanding. Man is made out of the image and likeness of God. Meaning, Krishna's original form is human-like. Not human, human-like. So here you're getting a picture. The color of the dress and what he has in his hand, what he has on his head, like that. Krishna's ears were decorated with lilies. Krishna wore marks of tilak. So, we should also wear tilak. So, hint, hint, hint. When you come to the temple, you should wear... If you don't have tilak, does the store sell? Yes. Everybody should have... And it's very cheap. It's not expensive. This is my tattoo. I see now. Everybody has... Even grandmas have tattoos. This is my tattoo, and it washes off. The other tattoo, you can't wash it off. But this tattoo, see, this is very nice tattoo. Very nice. So when we come to temple, this is our tattoo. All right? Krishna wears tilak. And Krishna was smiling charmingly. With their very eyes, the wives of the Brahmins saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of whom they had heard so much, who was so dear to them, and whom their minds were always absorbed. Now they finally saw Krishna eye to eye, face to face, and Krishna entered within their hearts through their eyes. So I recommend, look at Radha Giridhari now, and let Radha Giridhari enter your heart. This way you can be like these wives of the Brahmin. They're looking at Krishna, and Krishna is entering their hearts. Don't look at me. Look at Radha and Krishna. I'll keep talking. It doesn't bother me. It's all right. Keep looking at Radha and Krishna. They began to embrace Krishna to their heart's content, and the distress of separation was immediately mitigated. They were just like great sages who, by their advancement of knowledge, merge into the existence of the Supreme. As the super soul living in everyone's heart, Lord Krishna could understand their mind. So that's something I always like to emphasize. Remember, Krishna is also in your heart. And he knows what you are thinking. He knows if you know that song? That's applied to Krishna. So always remember, Krishna is there with you always. They had come to Krishna despite all the protests of their relatives, fathers, husbands, and brothers, just like the gopis the night of the Rasa dance, and all the duties of household affairs. They came just to see Krishna, who was their life and soul. They were actually following Krishna's instruction in the Bhagavad Gita. Dravida, what verse am I going to quote now? Yes! Everyone together. Everyone should know this verse. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Mamekam. Exclusively taking shelter of Krishna. One should surrender to Krishna, giving up all varieties of occupational and religious duties. In other words, no excuse. You can't say, oh, I can't surrender to Krishna because I have to do housework. These Brahmins' wives and gopis, they were not just sitting around watching TV all day. They also were working hard, but they were always thinking of Krishna. That's also there in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says to Arjuna, I want you to fight this war and at the same time go on remembering me. That is what we should do. You may be a student, you may be a housewife, you may be an office worker, businessman, whatever. No excuse. Do your job and at the same time remember Krishna. And Prabhupada makes it a point. There's no way you can think of Krishna unless every day you chant the Maha Mantra. Everybody. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I spaced out. Okay. Thank you, Javida. I'm glad Budri's not here. Yeah. Okay, I'm saved by the bell. It should be noted in this connection that when Krishna entered into the wives' hearts, and when they embraced Krishna and felt the transcendental bliss of being merged with Krishna, the Supreme Lord Krishna did not lose his identity, nor did the individual wives lose theirs. The individuality of both the Lord and the wives remained, yet they felt oneness in existence. When a lover submits to one's lover without any pinch of personal consideration, that is called oneness. So here, Prabhupada is actually giving you very practical things for husband and wife. Practical. Submitting without any pinch of personal consideration, and I always like to add, two-way street. Not that, oh, you cooperate with me. No, no, no. No, both have to cooperate. All right. Lord Chaitanya has taught us this feeling of oneness in his Shikshastakam. If you know this, and everyone should know Shikshastakam. Ashlishyava padaratang pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatang karotu va yatha tatha va vididhatu lampato matprananathastu saivanapara. Krishna may act freely, doing whatever he likes, but the devotee should always be in oneness or in agreement with Krishna's desire. That oneness was exhibited by the wives of the Brahmins in their love for Krishna. Krishna welcomed them with the following words. My dear wives of the Brahmins, you are all very fortunate and welcomed here. Please let me know what I can do for you. What a wonderful God. That's so nice. You come to him and he says, what can I do for... Wow. I think if that ever happened to me, I'd just go, I'd faint. You're coming here, neglecting all the restrictions and hindrances of relatives, fathers, brothers, and husbands, in order to see me, is completely befitting. One who does this actually knows one's self-interest, because rendering transcendental loving service unto me without motive or restriction is actually auspicious for the living entity. This is the essence of Prabhupada's teaching. Prabhupada is trying to teach us how to render service to Krishna without any material or selfish motive and without restriction. Prabhupada comments, Lord Krishna here confirms that the highest perfectional stage of the conditioned soul is to surrender to him. One must give up all other responsibilities. This complete surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the most auspicious path for the conditioned soul, because the Supreme Lord is the supreme objective of love. And this point is another reason why I stick to Krishna consciousness. Because I was always looking where to love, who to love, but I was always frustrated. Then I read Prabhupada's books, and Prabhupada was writing, you should learn how to love Krishna. So if we do that, if we learn, yes, Prabhupada, I asked that question, Prabhupada, what pleases you the most? When you love Krishna. That's the order I got from my spiritual master. So I have to do that. Will you help me? The only way you can help me is to loudly chant the Maha Mantra. Everyone is loving Krishna ultimately, but realization is according to the advancement of one's knowledge. One comes to understand that oneself is the spirit soul, and the spirit soul is nothing but a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate goal of love, and thus one should surrender unto Krishna. This surrender is considered auspicious for the conditioned soul. Our life, our property, home, wife, children, house, country, society, and all its paraphernalia, which are very dear to us, are only expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's this line in Bhagavad Gita, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Everything you see is either Krishna's energy or Krishna. When you have that consciousness that everything has its connection with Krishna, you're in Krishna consciousness. That's the goal, to see. There is one scripture where for Krishna, it's not Vasudevam Sarvamiti, Radha Sarvamiti. Because wherever Krishna looks in Vrindavan, it reminds him of Radharani. And for Radharani, her shloka is Krishna Sarvamiti. Wherever Radharani looks, she sees, oh, that's Krishna. Oh, that reminds her of Krishna. Like that. But we cannot imitate that. But we should try to understand everything we see is coming from Krishna. Krishna is the central object of love because Krishna gives us all bliss, expanding himself in so many ways according to our different situations, bodily, mental, or spiritual. Krishna continues, "My dear wives of the Brahmins, you can now return to your homes. Engage yourselves in sacrificial activities and be engaged in the service of your husbands and household affairs so that your husbands will be pleased with you, and the sacrifice which they have begun will be properly executed. After all, your husbands are householders, and without your help, how can they execute their prescribed duties?" So, we don't have time. I'm not going to read, but I'll paraphrase what happens next because we have to end on time. So after Krishna, this is very similar, Rasa dance. When the gopis arrived, Krishna said, "What are you doing here? Why have you come?" Teasing them. And now Krishna also told the gopis, "You should go back home." But the gopis said, "We have come here to dance." So the wives say the same thing. After hearing this from Krishna that they should go home, the wife said, "Wait a second. We know the philosophy, okay? We know that if someone takes shelter of you, you give them shelter. So we don't want to go back home. And besides, what we did, they're not going to take us back. So we are prepared right here and right now to fully take shelter of you." Very good proposal. So Krishna said, "No, it's okay. Don't worry about your husbands, your fathers. They'll take you back, no problem. You go back, and because you are my pure devotees, everything will be taken care of." So the wives went back, and the sacrifice was finished. Of course, by this time, the husbands had a change of heart. And they realized, and they condemned themselves. The Brahmins, when they saw their wives, they realized, yes, these wives of ours, they're more advanced than us. Wow, where do you hear that, huh? But they admitted, yes, they went to Krishna and Balaram without any restriction. We also should have known better. And they condemned themselves. Yes, we know this, we know all these Vedic things. What's the use of it? We should have surrendered to Krishna, just like our wives. So they wanted to surrender, realizing, but at the same time, they were afraid of Kamsa. So they could not fully surrender to Krishna like their wives, because they were afraid of what Kamsa might do, retaliation. So this story, we have learned many things. Prabhupada has pointed out many things. And it leads to the next chapter. Because just as these Brahmins are performing Vedic sacrifices in order to achieve the heavenly planets, in the next chapter, Krishna sees that his father, Nanda, is about to engage in worship of Indra. So Krishna is saying, what is this? So he asks his father, what is this? And Nanda Maharaj says, oh, we are a cowherd community, and the cows, we depend on the cows, and the cows have to eat grass. And in order for there to be grass, there has to be rain. And therefore, we have to worship Indra because he is called Megavan, the controller, the possessor of the clouds, so that he'll send the rain. But Krishna, at this time, he could understand, yes, Indra right now is puffed up. He thinks he's big man right now. So Krishna spoke in such a way as to specifically make Indra angry. And that set up the whole thing. So Indra told his father, wow, there's no need to worship Indra. You just have to do your work. That's all. I pointed this out. Nowadays in society, you can be Christian, Hindu, Jew, Muslim, atheist, whatever. They don't care. Just do your job. If you do your job, you're good to go. So, karma mimamsa philosophy. Whether there's a God or not a God, who cares? You have to do your work. You have to do your job. So Krishna started to preach this atheistic karma mimamsa philosophy. That simply do your work. So Krishna said, we are Vaishyas. All that matters is we depend on the cows, and the cows have to eat the grass on Govardhan Hill. So I have a better idea. Instead of worshiping Indra, let's worship the Brahmins, the cows, and this Govardhan Hill. And Nanda Maharaj said, oh, Krishna, I tell you what. Let's first worship Indra, and then we'll do this Govardhan sacrifice. But Krishna said, not so fast. There's not enough time. We don't have enough money. We should use all the paraphernalia for worshiping Indra and simply worship the Brahmins, cows, and Govardhan Hill. And of course, who do you think won the argument? Krishna, of course. The answer to every question is Krishna. In my school, if I had a school, if you answer Krishna on every answer, you get 100%. So they followed Krishna's advice, and they dressed up very nicely. They decorated the cows, and everybody got dressed up. And I told you what Krishna said, to make offerings. And then Krishna assumed a huge transcendental form and revealed, I am Govardhan Hill. So this huge form of Krishna was eating all the offerings, and then the other Krishna, the original Krishna, and the cowherd men, they're circumambulating Govardhan. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the fun for whoever gives class Thursday. So, was it okay? Did you like it? Let's chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any commentary by Dravida? Good.
Turn it on. You know how to do it? So when I was working on the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam back in 1985-86, Hare Krishna? There we go. I came across this chapter of the Brahmins' wives, and then I came to the chapter 29, where the gopis and Krishna meet for the rasa dance. And as you pointed out, there's a similar scene there where the gopis go out, and then Krishna, he said, well, how can I serve you? It's nice that you came, and what can I do for you? You know, very official. I said, what can you do for us? You called us out with the flute, and you know, like that. And then he tries to convince them to go back. He says it's very dangerous, and you've seen the forest now, and your babies are back there, your husband and everything. So the first thing that the gopis say in Sanskrit, Maivam Viboharti Bhavan Gaditum Nishangsam. This is what they say. O all-powerful one, you should not speak in this cruel way. Then, actually before that, we come to the same verse, the same situation with the Brahmins' wives, as he pointed out. They went out, they had to go against their husbands and brothers and fathers and friends. And then Krishna speaks to them, and he says they should go back and help their husbands perform the sacrifice, as he told. And what do they say? Maivam vaboharti bhavangadidhan nashangsam. The exact same words, exact same Sanskrit words. But they're not on the same level as the gopis. And so Krishna convinces them to go back, where the gopis to refuse.
Oh.
They said
Very nice.
the gopis refuse, and then they go in the rasa dance. So I thought that's a very interesting insight.
Leave it to Dravida to find the esoteric point. Thank you very much.
Wait a minute before you end. This as since we have 4 minutes, can I just give you my little 3-verse poem about the Govardhan Leela?
Who can say no to you?
So this is a formal invitation to come back on Thursday and celebrate with us. When Krishna stopped King Indra's sacrifice, that monarch of the heavens threw a fit. Those cowards took that foolish boy's advice. Such insolence I never shall permit. So Indra sent the clouds of devastation to pour down catastrophic hail and rain, with lightning, thunder, winds without cessation. The cowards called to Krishna in their pain. To show his coward friends his boundless love, and crush King Indra's pride for his own good, Shri Krishna lifted Govardhan above, and saved his friends while neath their hill they stood. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So that's your invitation to come back.
May you have a great Govardhan Puja. May you have a great week. And I'll see you again next month. Thank you for allowing me this privilege. Hare Krishna.